lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life, better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss, just my life and free thoughts.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah.
He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You
could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me.
So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place. I wanna be first, work till it hurts. Dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off, I'ma break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life, better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss, just my life and free thoughts.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me.
What up, Nine?
Trapaholics Mixtapes.
As the 9% and word would say, make a better you, a better us.
Give them what they ask for.
Who do you think you are? I'm the word. Boy, I'm the one who put in the work.
When I move, is it a quick rumble? I will never ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.
What up, though? It's the word. You see the title. We about to get into it. But before we do that, do me a favor, man. Hit that like, and if you're new, hit that subscribe. You know, it's free to you, but it mean the world to me. And with that being said, let me get it to the chat. Let me get it to the chat. Dolly, what it do? What the business is, sis? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Alicia, what it do? What the business is? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Who else in the building? Uh, I said another Dee. My bad, man. I ain't even got my phone on me. I don't know who got the memberships, but shout out to the membership. They give you like 10 a month, and I try to shoot them out. I am going. I keep saying that, and I'm gonna do it. It's just life. Being honest, I got two small kids. I'm legally blind. I can barely see. I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm just telling you what it do, right? So yeah, and I don't really have a lot of time. I'm living, man. I'm doing other things, getting stronger, so I'm doing more things outside. I was never I'm not a social media person. I got social media site. I barely use them. Like since I started making content, I was a little bit more active. I never had a TikTok, never did IG. Only thing I ever had was a Facebook to, communicate with friends and family. Other than that, so this whole social media thing is new, trying to be a good content creator. Um, so, I'm using it a little more. Bronze, what it do, my brother? What it do? Physical strength is wealth. Yes, it is. The better you feel, the more you can do. And I'm not gonna lie to you, but when 'cause I had what they call a pseudo tumor, also known as hydrocephalus, and what that is your brain stopped draining cerebral fluid down your spine. And I'm gonna incorporate all this into the show, right? So I'm gonna use myself as an example as I always do, right? So check this out. So my brain stopped draining cerebral fluid. So what happened was it built up in my head, and your eyes was connected. So what it did is the fluid went through my optic nerves. Now you remember when y'all was kids and y'all had the long balloons and it was blew up for a while, and then the air came out and it lost the stretchiness. The balloon wasn't stretching no more. Right. That's what happened to my optic nerve. That's why I lost the eyesight in my left eye and majority of the sight in my right eye. Right. So that happened. So while that was happening, they gave me some options, right? And they gave me this medication, and the medication was supposed to help the fluid drain through the down the spine, right? It was supposed to promote uh, the fluid from flushing. That's what the medication was supposed to do. Yeah, it did some other shit too, right? It fucked me up. Like my vein, like I used to work out all the time. So I had like real healthy veins, like real thick veins. It dried my veins up. It's hard. Well, I recently started working out more. So, my veins, the blood is flowing, but it not only, it restricted. And so I lost a lot of muscle, right? I mean, I was at my healthiest, I was like 230, 235. I went down to like 170. And then and when I got off the medication, I was on it for like 3 months. It fucked me up. Not only did that mess me up, but um, my equilibrium was off. I was having chronic migraine. I couldn't see, so I'm adjusting to this whole thing. Like being, with my limited eyesight, it took me like 3 years to adjust to it, but I got it down pat. Like when I first, I laugh at myself. So I like dark humor, and I'm not omitted from it, right? So when I first lost my eyesight, it was like, damn, I can't see. I only got one eye and it's limited. I can only see straight. It's like looking through a dime, right? So I'm like, I gotta see because I start like I'm a thick dude. I'm 6 foot. Like if I hit a wall, I might put a hole into it. Like if I literally walk into the wall, I might put a hole. I did it like 3 times, right? So I'm walking and stumble. So imagine if I stumble and hit the wall, I'm going through. So I'm stepping on. I got a little kid. I'm stepping on stuff. I'm trying to find my way around. My eyes real sensitive to light. So I used to have to scan, like move my head around, like everywhere I walk. So it looked like I got Tourette's or something, like something going, like I'm having a seizure while I'm walking, trying to see everything. But guess what? 5 years later, now my eyeball just moving right. So my whole head. So if I wear glasses, you don't even notice my eyeball jumping back. But that's how I see now. It's I adapted to it. So getting into the topic, it's the delusion that keeps people losing. And y'all always hear me say ignorance is bliss, until you got to pay for it. So what I mean by that is this: the reason people often don't accomplish things, they don't, they fail at things, uh, they settle for things, is because they create this belief in their head that this belief. Hold on one second. That was the wife giving me an update on my not little owl child. Shout out to Bronze. What it do with the businesses, fam. Shout out to Bud Files, man. I'm happy I got to catch one of y'all lives, man. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate that. And your medical team. You know what, man? I don't even I'm bad I'm very bad. Look, I worked in the hospital for 15 years. I was an anesthesia assistant. I learned a lot of shit and I know a lot of shit. So I'm a horrible fucking patient. I am. I'm bad with doctor's appointments and all that. Nah, but this is what they told me, right? It took me, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, it took me 3 months, right? And this is what I'm saying about building. We're gonna talk about beliefs. We're gonna talk about the word delusion. We're gonna talk about all this stuff. I'm just giving you my story so you can see, like you had something to compare and contrast with. My 33 brother in the building. I don't know why my cat is all the way up here. Raven, what up? My 33 brother, what up? Now I apologize, man. I apologize. My chat. Okay, now I'm caught up. So, damn, I forgot what I was saying. But when I lost my eyesight, um, they told me a couple things. They told me I may never get my eyesight. Eventually, I might go blind. They told me all these things, right? Expectation, and it's nothing. They don't. I mean, they working with stem cells right now to try to repair the optic nerve, but there's no surgery to repair the optic nerve. There's no surgery. If your optic nerve, so like they can literally take your eyeball out and attach your optic nerve to a new eyeball. They can do that, but they can't. They don't have anything to repair the optic. So they basically told me like, eventually. And I got a family history of like glaucoma and stuff like that. Just bad eyes. I wore glasses before, but so I already couldn't see before I couldn't see. So how that worked, but yeah. So they told me and my wife, all my family, they like, well, it's a possibility. I'm like, look, man, if it happen, if it work out good, but what I'm gonna do is prepare for the work. Plus, I need some things because I use my eyes. I'm a very observant person. I use all five senses on abnormal level, higher than like because but I intentionally train myself, and I had other um experience in life where I had to train my senses to be at a higher rate than so I use my eyes differently from everybody. So it was key for me. Seeing is key for me, right? And I couldn't do that at a high efficient level no more. So I had to make adjustments. And I knew all this in my head. It was like medicine is always probable, right? What they tell you was possible. And then they give you a probability of it actually occurring. And it was a very low one, but it's still a probability, right? That it'll repair itself if it ain't too damaged. But man, my shit fucked, right? So I'm like, I just got to adjust. So I got a walking stick, a cane, and that way I can, because I don't have depth perception no more. So I don't really know how close or far something is. So I got to, I use the cane. But even after using that, it's been 5 years. I adjusted to that real quick. So I know how to walk. I walk different and everything. I feel more with my foot when I walk. I use my shoulders and elbows to see how close it is, and and it's really not noticeable no more. Most people until I tell them, they won't even know my shit fucked up. They won't even know because the way when I first did it, when it first happened, yeah. But now, no, you most people won't even know unless I run a trip over something, and I can't go in no like all white. I mean, I was, I walked in. We got this. It was a Walmart actually. I walked in Walmart one day. They had a white table on a white floor with white cupcakes. I ain't see none of that shit. I walked right through the fucking table, almost flipped over, knocked all the shit down. I'm like, oh man. I apologize. My wife like, my husband is legally blind. I'm like, bruh, that's it. It was like, it's one of those moments. It's like, bro, you either gonna laugh or you gonna feel embarrassed, bro. I couldn't do nothing but laugh. Like, hey, it is what it is. I gotta pay for it. They like, no, you okay? I'm like, all right, I don't mind paying for it. I know I fucked a couple of them up. It was like 4 or 5 of them fell. You know what I'm saying? On the floor, like falling. They was like, no, don't worry about it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Y'all cool as hell, bro. Like shit. I'm gonna keep shopping here. Man, I really don't. I don't really shop at Walmart, but yeah. So that happened. Um, but this is the delusion, you know. And I can have that delusion. Like, first, look, check this out, man. Let's look up what is delusion because this the thing too. A lot of people use these words, the context of the word incorrectly. They apply the word incorrectly. They you know, sometimes people, I don't want to say it like that. But yeah, people use the word incorrectly. So, Son, what it do? What the business is, fam? Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. So, where is it at? Window. A little different. It's a little different. What? Okay. Yeah, let's share this. Yeah. So let's look at what this is. Right? Let's look at a couple words. Oh man, I don't know what I did, bro. Hold on. Pushing too much. Can y'all? Is that on? I don't even know. We gotta go back here. See where it at. Okay, so delusion, the word itself, right? And I'm gonna point out a couple things. And damn, how do I get back to this? This was a little different. I'm sharing high. No, I don't want to do none of that. Okay, well, I don't know if I do this. Okay, so a false belief or judgment about external reality held despite incontrovertible evidence to the contrary as a synonym of a serious mental illness, right? So delusional. When we looking at this, you see, there's a couple terms that I want to point out, right? And so we know it's a false but belief, right? That's the main one because belief is what causes a lot of people delusion. It's what they believe in. That's what creates or manifests the delusion about an external reality. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, right? I don't see the problem with anybody believing things and keeping it to their damn self. Like keep it in your head, right? Keep it in your head. It's when you externalize it. When you is when you compare it, your belief to what's reality, to what actually exists, what can be proven exists. When you compare your belief to that, that's where the delusion uh become. That's what creates the delusion. But as long as you keep it in your head, don't tell nobody, don't share it, don't post it, don't make a video, you fine. You can think you can think leprechauns is real. You can think, you can go in an echo chamber and share that, and that's fine. But it's when you try to make your belief a reality and you can't prove it, right? You can't prove it. And another key term I want to look at is belief itself, right? Belief and acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists, right? So a belief is not based upon fact. Belief is just you accepting that this exists. You accept it, not based on fact. And Oftentimes, I had conversations with people about this term belief. They try to articulate an argument stating that you have to believe something to know something. And that's not false, right? That's not a false statement. But what people get hung up on, they use that as an argument to why you have to believe. And I think, but then when you associate that to what people believe, it becomes a false statement, right? It becomes a false statement because belief is a process of getting to know something. But if you stick on that belief, that don't make it known. That's what most people do. Most people don't utilize belief. They utilize it. They belief is a process. Is something that you hold or accept until proven otherwise, right? I used to believe in Santa Claus, right? Until it was proven that Santa Claus didn't exist. Now, where the delusion starts is when you have the evidence and you still resist and you still hold the belief, even though it's evidence that it does not exist. You hold on to that belief, right? So a lot of times, people delusions are, I call them delusional expectations, right? People have delusional expectations or they have unverified expectations. And this is why I say this is why people lose, right? If you following me, right? Delusional expectation. So people have this belief because you say you associate with someone in a relationship and you don't get out what you give that person. That person is not giving you what you're giving them, right? And you think they're wrongful. That's your expectation because you had a belief. If I do this for somebody, they do that for someone. Or they said they love me, and since they love me, they should be doing X, Y, and Z. The reason that's a delusional expectation is because most people don't even take the time to see if a person is capable of giving them to actually give them back what they're giving them. People don't even take the time in all different forms of relation. Even like have it because this person is my mother. She's supposed to love me. That's a delusional. Is your mother even capable of love? Well, she had me. She okay. That might not be love. That might be a sense of responsibility. She had you. She fed you. She clothed you. But is your mother capable of loving? Dude, this is like growing up in poverty. I'm gonna say it like that. I'm not just so because I grew up around all different types of poor people. It wasn't just black. So I'm not gonna say isolated to the hood, but in general, growing up in poverty, you have harsh times. People are literally in survival mode. So even a parent will become selfish to a kid because even though they had this kid and having a kid, you believe the person has a sense of responsibility, at least to what they create, right? These are expectations, but that's not fucking reality. It's not. People have kids and the people can't even love themselves. So why do you expect for them to love the kid? They're incapable. A lot of I think about some of the like I was having this conversation and I was telling this guy that my grandmother was ignorant to a lot of things. When she was raising me, she was ignorant to a lot of different concepts, right? So she didn't know no better. Ignorant is not a bad word, right? It's really not. You know, um, it's just lack of knowing. To keep it simple. Now we can talk about why you have the lack of knowing, but you have lack of knowing. That's what it is. You don't know. So, my grandmother was ignorant to the point where she couldn't teach me certain things because she didn't have the information or knowledge to teach it to me. But other people got it. So when you see other things or other people do stuff, you think like, we start creating a standard. But unfortunately, she didn't have those same qualities. She had other qualities. So she gave me other things, but some things she didn't give me. So I'm telling him like it was, it, she was ignorant to the concept. And he was like, "Oh, so you saying no? She didn't know. She didn't know. Oh, so your grandma just no? She was ignorant to this concept, not overall ignorant. Like no, she's not overall ignorant. She taught me a lot of things. She just couldn't teach me about this, and this is what affected me, right? But it was not her fault. I can't be mad at her for that. But you hear people, my mama didn't love me. This person didn't love me. Do you even know if they was capable? Maybe they went through some traumatic shit and was fucked up and traumatized. That's what they call generational curses, right? When it's really learned behavior. It's behavior passed down. That's what it truly is, behavior passed down. But the delusion comes of in expecting something and not even knowing if the person is capable of meeting those expectations. That's where the delusion comes in. So getting mad at someone who ain't capable of what you expect from them, that's fucking delusion. That's the definition of it. But this is a common thread, common concept. This is socially accepted to be like that, to have and to live in different forms of social, like delusion. And it's not, hear me out. I don't want nobody to get upset at what I'm about to say. Well, hold on, let me get back. I don't know. I'm not even at the chat. Let me get back in here. I'm talking. They stay there, don't elevate from the belief aspects of the growth, knowing or faith. But we gonna get a little bit into it too. But this is the delusion aspect, right? Where people built this belief or perception, and the perception is built from their belief, what they believe in. That even this, right? Now, I'm gonna tell you how exactly this is detrimental. So hear me out, because this can possibly emotionally trigger someone because they may be able to relate or associate. They may even feel like this. So hear me out, right? In the Bible, it says all men are created the same, right? Created the same. We're gonna fuck with these words. My brother called me a lexicon. All men are created the same, right? And so people will develop a belief that we're all the same, right? We're all the same. There's no race, there's no color, and that's delusional. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because even in that scripture, all men are created the same. Created means bring into existence. So what that verse is not saying that we're all the same. What it's saying is we come to this earth all the same way. We come into existence the same way. But once we're in existence, we have differences. That's reality. So you can say everybody got a hump or dump or whatever you want to call it to create the existence. But after that, we ain't the same no more. People develop different ways. You have different structures. You have different races. You have different genders. But all creation of man come into existence the same way. That's fact. But that don't mean we all the same. And the detrimental part of not seeing race and color is you're omitting that person's experience. You're omitting it. You're trying to say your experience. I mean, you're not trying to say, but subconsciously what you're saying is fuck your experience. Fuck your experience. Because guess what? When you experience life, all that shit matters, bro. Your gender, your age, your sex, your weight, your height, all that shit plays a factor in your experience. Everything about you does. And when we do that, we're omitting people's experience. All black people don't experience the same life the same way, just like all white people don't. So I used to get in discussions, right? And I used to say white privilege. But then my perception or my understanding of it changed the more I interacted with white people, and I realized it's a better terminology for it. It's saying white privilege because all white people don't get privilege. They really don't. Some poor white people, is white people get killed by cops. Is all you know. That's reality, right? That's reality, right? Fuck how I feel, but the reality is all white people ain't the same, right? So the better term I found for it is benefit of the doubt. I use white people get a higher benefit of the doubt than black people, even from fucking black people. Like most black people don't feel threatened by white people. They don't feel threatened unless they have some form of authority. Like regular ass white person, ain't no black people person scared of no regular ass white person. The ones with authority, that's what I'm not even gonna say fear, but that's what black people look at like, you know what I'm saying? But a regular white person, no black people, ain't no black people afraid of. So if you got a guy walking down the street and he black wearing a hoodie, you will be looking at him more than a white guy walking down the street with the hoodie. If you got a black guy walking down the street in a suit and a tie and a briefcase, you will look at him more than you will look at the white boy walking down the street with the hoodie on. And we can get into that. We can get into that one day because all that shit happens subconsciously. You was programmed since you was a kid with little fucking nursery rhymes and shit about Mary had a little lamb and shit and all that shit. Just the way you was taught, just the way we perceive things, how we associate things. Because so much shit happen on the subconscious level. When you see something, you and it's unfamiliar, not known. What your brain do is start associating it to what you do know. So if you've been told, if you've been given all these examples how white is right, right? White is like purity and all that, and then black is like Black Friday, Black Death, black all this black is negative. When you look at something and you're unfamiliar with it, you're going to associate it to what you know. That's just how it works. We ain't talking about that right? We ain't talking about that right. Nate the Great, what it do with the businesses? King Black, my brother, what it do with the businesses? We ain't talking about that right now, but we talking about the delusion aspect, right? So the belief, what I tell people is use it as a process. Like anything that you believe, get to know. You know, the reason people have problems with God is because that belief factor and beliefs don't really work without faith. And you know what faith is? Faith is solidified. Faith is accepting something without evidence. That's what faith is. Like, no, this is solidifying. So belief is already, you're accepting something that's true, but it leaves a gap because it might be true or might not. But your faith solidifies that belief by totally 100 accepting it without evidence. Like you literally tell yourself, because of faith, I don't need no fucking evidence. I don't need it. I don't need it. Faith replaces knowing. Knowing is you having the evidence. You have evidence to prove that this is objective and not subjective. Belief is totally subjective until you know. Once you know, then there's no belief. You don't have to believe in things you know because it's already proven. You know what I mean? Conversations like I don't know, bro. This is why I can't talk to everybody. Because I be talking to people, and this dude was telling me like, you can't know without believing. I'm like, okay, but once you believe, once you know, there's no point of believing anymore. There's no fucking point of it. It's like once you go to second grade, there's no point of you doing first grade shit no more, right? It's like there's no point. It's a progression. As my brother Gary would say, it's an elevation. It's an elevation. But how do you? oh, I'm not even gonna say how you get to knowing, but what people have to do is get to that knowing part, bro. Get to that knowing part, and it take work, man. You can't be fucking lazy. It take work, you know. It take work, but knowing is not objective. Knowing is not subjective. It's objective because you can prove it. You can prove things you know. That's why oftentimes when people be like, "Well, how do you know?" I don't like using the term God because what people associate God with is an anthropomorphic concept. And once you do that, you bound God to what we're limited to. Once you do that, once, and I be listening to these conversations, I'm like, I can't, bro. I can't. I can't because it's like you trap yourself. You trap because you're dealing with logic. God is not fucking logical. The concept of God is not something that we can comprehend, so therefore it can't be logical, right? God is not bound to our limitations. We have to be logical, and we not even fucking logical. Humans ain't logical. There ain't shit about humans logical, bro. If it was, you can predict, and you can't. That's why we got so many classifications with the same fucking thing. Like when you say narcissist, right? When we say, and I took y'all through this. I can show you 5 to 7 different forms of narcissism. They all have similarity, but the actions or the way it's projected is different. You have grandioso narcissists, what most people identify as narcissism, but you have covert narcissism or what they call vulnerable narcissism. And if you ask the PhDs, the people with the degrees, they'll tell you that's actually more common than the grandioso. The grandioso is just noticeable, but the vulnerable or the covert narcissist, covert mean undercover, those are the most common forms of narcissism, and people don't even identify. Like when I be hearing people talk and describe things, like even when we talked about the Machiavellian, even when we talked about the psychopathy or the sociopath, when we talk about that, most people equate all these personalities to one, and it's narcissism. That's how they define. Why? Because they manipulate. This person is, but manipulation, even that term itself, right? We talked about that. I'm going to like 8 different things at the same damn time. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Stop playing. Commander, what it do with the business is nine. The lady at a nine. The minister of general defense is in the building. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Appreciate you, sis. Appreciate you. Oh no, we know it's all love. We know it's all. But yeah, I'm just rambling right now. Hold on, where am I? But yeah, all this and this there's a couple points I wanted to make. I was supposed to make PowerPoints, but the way my kids set up is like I be thinking I got time to do stuff, and then they be like, But yeah, I was talking about the narcissist. So the grandioso narcissist is what we is most noticeable. But the covert narcissist, these are people who play the victim all the time, people who use the gaslight. But the way you separate all of these things, and they got it down to a science, man. They got a science to it. But people don't study that. They hear a word, hear a term, and they run with it. But they got a science to it. Because guess what? We all got narcissistic tendencies. We all get that, bro. At any time, we can be triggered and we can express that narcissism aspect of ourselves because that's nothing but a portion of your ego. Those traits come out of a portion of your ego called the ID. Even the term ego, people use that so fucking wrong. They don't even. Most people don't even know what the fucking ego is. Just like the concept of I did videos on all the shit because I got annoyed hearing people use it or not understand it. Most people understanding the things is underdeveloped. They know that's like that's like knowing a word, right? You know a word. but you don't know how to use the word, meaning you don't know the noun form of the word. Most people, man, I mean, you don't know uh, how to use it as a noun, a verb, or adjective. Three common ones. I mean, different ways you can use it, but those three most common, right? Um, verb, noun, adjective, talk about pronouns and all that. But anyway, words have different forms, and those different forms have different meanings or definitions. And people always use those incorrectly. So even understand it, like personality, right? You got to understand. You have to know. That's why I say most people, and this is why people get manipulated because they don't fucking know. They don't know. So even talking about having an underdeveloped ego, you will mainly primarily function out what they call the ID, which is the instinctive desire. That's your survival mode, right? That's all about you. Then you have the super ego. This is developed through social experiences, through what you taught as far as morals and values. The super ego is usually when we put others above us, or we put others first before us. That's usually when people function out the super ego, right? That can even be harmful. That's how people get manipulated because, oh, this is a good person. I know if I need help. And they go abuse you. How you supposed to be used, but they will abuse you, right? They'll stop abusing. They'll start abusing. And that's because a person is functioning out their super ego. So you can almost say, oh, your ego is now overdeveloped. And having too much of anything is just as bad as not having enough of it. If you got too much of it, take a whole thing of Tylenol and see what happens, right? Having too much of something can be just as worse or bad for you than not having enough of it. So functioning out your super ego is bad. What your ego is your conscious self experience in the world. So the goal is to harmonize, to know how to use or which aspect of the ego should be deployed at a particular time. Which part of my ego will be more effective and efficient at this point in time. For instance, if I'm chilling with my homies, we in the woods, and I see Jason come out, I'm going into my ID. See you later. If I'm faster than everybody, I'm gone, bro. I can Hey, look, when I get somewhere safe, I'm gonna make sure I call and send somebody back to help. That's what I'm gonna do. You know, I'm gonna get into my ID. I'm gonna get the hell on. It's about me. If I don't survive, then I can't call for help. Right? That's how I'm thinking in that situation. You know, you put me at Crystal Lake, we chilling, drinking some brew, and I see a man walk out the water. I'm out. I'm not asking no questions. I'm not staring, looking. I don't even know what happened behind me. I'm gonna run to the nearest safe space and call somebody and say, look, I don't even know what happened, but I seen this man walk out the lake, and I think the people who was with me need some help. Right? Now I'm functioning out my ID. Right? Now say, for instance, say we chilling somewhere. I'm outside. I see a little squirrel. It look hungry. I take half my sandwich and I give it to the squirrel. Functioning out my super ego. Fuck the people, feed the squirrel. Oh man, but I'm being honest. I'm being honest. Right? I give you a better example, right? This is how you know. This is how you harmonize it, right? Say for instance, I can't swim, right? And I see somebody drown, right? Now me functioning on my ID, I'd be like, shit, I can't swim. Sorry, can't help you. You know about my business, right? Now my super ego would be like, damn, I can't swim, but you drowning, let me jump in the water and help you, right? Now we both drown. Cause I might even pull you down. You might drown faster because I jumped in and tried to help you if I can't swim, right? Now let's function out our ego. I see somebody drown. I know I can't swim, but this person drowned. I'm looking around. Is it a stick? Is it a rope? Is it something around where I can help this person? Okay, I can't. I'm a yell, scream. Where did I see the nervous person? Up? Can you swim? Yeah, come save this person. They need help. I can't do it, bro. That's me functioning out my ego. Now I harmonize the two. I can't help you. by jumping in, but I'm gonna do my best to help you, right? That's harmonized. I'm still gonna help you, just not in an effective, efficient way. That's how I'm gonna help you and not hurt me, right? That's harmonized. I don't have ID, y'all. You ain't got no ID. You better get some. 'Cause that instinctive desire, boy, I'm telling you, it'll get you through some things. I believe in being selfish. I believe all these things have a place and time to be employed. I mean, so you can deploy it, to be deployed. Right? All these things have a reason, is in existence for a reason. Everything in existence is in existence for a reason. Not too many things that don't have a purpose that exist. Not too many things, but there's always exceptions to the rule. So I don't want nobody here to say, well, I can think of this. This don't have no purpose. But I believe in suffering. I believe suffering is good for you. I think everybody should suffer a little bit, you know? That's just how I feel. Now, there's levels to it. But yeah, suffering is not a bad thing, you know? Not necessarily. But there's levels to it, right? I don't want you to uh, get pancreatitis or nothing in suffering, but suffering in itself, I mean, it's necessary. It exists for a reason. People just don't want to experience it because it don't feel good. No, it don't. But it has its purpose. Has its purpose. Without no test, there's no testimony. That's just what it is. But back to these delusions. Yeah, but expectations, and what creates those expectations is belief, right? So work on that, you know. Or if you know somebody, tell them to listen to this and tell them where it said work on your belief. Work on it until you know it. It's yours. This is something that you're creating your perception on. And this is what happens, right? This is why people get depressed. It's why people get anxiety, because when they really have to face the external reality and their belief is challenged or taken away, that's what causes all the heartache and pain. And well, I thought this person should have did. Nah, because look, a lot of our beliefs or even concepts that we know derive from the Bible. People articulate it in different ways. But when they say, "Well, you treat others like you want to be treated," most people don't even like when you say that. Most people don't know that was written allegorically, right? It was written allegorically, meaning it's a hidden message inside. If you want to break the term allegory down, story, poem, I ain't saying the definition verbatim, but the substance is that it's meant to teach, but it's a hidden message inside. So when people I just keep it easy. When you take them four gospels in the New Testament, literally, 9 times out of 10, you fucking up. You fucking up. Those are written in allegorical ways, meaning it's deeper than what you think. So when you hear that, do unto others as you wish done unto you, right? When you hear that, people literally say, well, I'm going to treat others like I want to be treated. This is why that don't work, right? Because say if I ain't gonna use me as an example. Say if a person want their ass slapped, they constantly want their ass slapped, and they go around slapping people's ass. Technically, they treat others like they want to be treated. They want their ass slapped, so they treating other people. You know, people don't respect themselves, so they ain't gonna be able to respect others. But that's what that actually means. What that means is you want to be accepted for you, so you must accept people for who they are. No matter if they have different beliefs, no matter if they're a different color, no matter if they're a different gender, you want to be accepted for who you are. So you have to be willing to accept people for who they are. That's the easiest way I can decipher that. No matter what their differences are. If you want to be accepted for who you are, accept others for who they are. Flat and simple. You know what that means? Don't put expectations on fucking people. Don't do it. Don't put unless look. This is when you can put expectations on people. One, if they're capable of achieving your expectations, and two, if they agree. Meaning you have to have some form of communication. But don't like people be having these hidden expectations for people. Oh, we're friends, so you supposed to. Oh, that's my friend. She wasn't supposed to tell nobody this. Man, your friend can't hold water, right? Imagine this. Would you fill up a cup of water if it got a hole at the bottom? If you notice this glass has a hole at the bottom of it, would you try to fill it up with water? And if you did, would you be mad if the water leaked? Would you be mad if you fill a cup up with water and you know it got a hole at the bottom? Would you be pissed off if the cup leaked? That's delusion. That's what people fucking do. Is they put expectations on people and don't even know if they're capable of. Don't even know the person. Well, I expect it. Well, because we said this, or because we friends, or because we boyfriend and girl. Nah, you can't put expectations on people. And when you do, just follow those two rules. Right? First, before you even try to articulate an expectation to a person, make sure they're capable of it. They might not have the tools to complete the task. Flat and simple. It's like hiring an electrician to do plumbing work. Would they do that? You will hire an electrician to do plumbing work? Ah, so I mean, like people get with like it'd be funny to me. I got a homeboy, right? He had this thing, right? He used to like to mess around with other people, women, right? Married women and all that. 'Cause they dating. It was like he had something going on with him, where he wanted what other people had. And then he'd get with the girl, take the girl from the dude, and then the girl get mad when she found out he fucking with somebody else. Like, what do you expect? He got with you like that. You think it was gonna stop? You think it was gonna stop? No. Maya Angelou, DMX, they all said it. Expect people to be who they are. I'm paraphrasing. That's all you can expect from a person from what their capabilities are. And if you create an expectation beyond their capabilities, that's where the delusion sets in. That's what the delusion, going back to what I was saying earlier about, some of our ancestors, some of our elders, they didn't have the information, they didn't have the knowledge, some of them didn't have the tools to give us, right? They didn't have that. And then people, well, they didn't do this or they didn't do that. Do you even know if they were capable of doing any of that shit before you start complaining about it? Oh, well, the other people, I seen it on TV. Well, my friends down the street, their parents was capable. That's their parents, bro. They different. They different. They had the shit. Yours didn't. But they did the best they can. Did the best they can. My parents had me when they were 16. Well, got pregnant. My mom got pregnant with me when she was 16, had me when she was 17. They was kids, bro. So I can't be thankful that they left me with my grandma for those 9 years. I'm thankful for that because they was fucking kids. What was they gonna do? They didn't know shit. But my grandma did. He knew more than them. So a lot of my morals, my base, my foundation was created from my grandma. That's who created my foundation was OG. So that's where I got that old soul feel. Because I was hanging around old people my whole life. My whole childhood, I was chilling with the old people. I was chilling with the elders, man. I got to experience, or I got to hear their experiences. I got to see through their perception, through the way they looked at life. So all my core values came from them, and that's what made me different from a lot of people I was around. I didn't have the freedom that they had. I had to learn stuff earlier. Like my grandma and them, when they was 4 or 5 years old, they in the field. So guess what happened when I was 4 or 5 years old? I had a fucking paper route. In first grade, I had a paper route. Waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, work. Paper, I had to go tend the garden, get out of school. I had to do chores. I grew up doing chores, like 4 or 5. So it's innate. Like I see something, pick it up. I see something need to be fixed, we'll fix it. That's innate in me. It's natural. It's part of my habit. That's what they had. So my drive came from them. Like my perception, like shit, it got to get done regardless. There's no option. If something need to get done, no matter how you got to get it done, you just got to get it done. I got that from them. It wasn't no option to not do things. So all that I developed from them. So I'm grateful for that. But that was unconventional. I don't blame my mama or my dad. They both was young. They went and started families, both of them, before they even came back and got me. I don't blame them for them. Can't be mad at them. That's where when we ruminate on things, right? That's where bitterness comes from, and that shit take part in your how you look at things. Like I got this friend, right, and they most of my friends had kids when we were younger. I ain't had kids. I was 36, man. Ain't nobody think I was about to have kids. I'm like, I'm straight. If I don't find the right person, I'm good, bro. I ain't going through none of that shit y'all going through. I'm good. I made my mind up, you know. Uh, but I had this one friend, and I'm like, damn, bro, your daughter about this was like, uh, this was before I lost my eyesight because I had drove over his house. But his daughter was like a year away from high school or starting her like eighth grade. I'm like, bro, your daughter about to be in high school, and he was like, yeah, and I'm like you don't like she about to be in high as a girl about to be in high school. Like, bro, you don't think you need to be more involved in her life? And we were smoking, right? We were smoking, chilling, watching the game. But I never forget how he looked at me because the way he looked at me, like the words, it was like the look was more. Uh, I don't even know how to explain it, but the look was more impactful than what he said. But what he said, when I tell you what he said, I guess you'll understand what I mean. So the way he turned and looked at me, he hit the blunt, and he was like, "Man, my daddy wasn't in my life. She'll be all right. I'm okay." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" I don't got no kids at this time, right? I ain't got no kids at this time. But when he said it, I'm like, "Bro," I'm like, "That's fucked up, bro." And I'm like, just because your daddy wasn't in your life, does that make it okay for you not to be in her life? He was like, "Man, shit happens, bro. She'll be all right." I said, "I'm good." Said, "It's probably better that I'm not in her life." I'm looking like, God damn, man. But he meant that shit whole heart. Like it was like a cold ass look. Like, man, like if you would have like put that on mute, the way he looked at me, like if it was recorded and it was on mute, the way he looked at me, you would have thought he said, "Man, fuck that kid" or something like that. That's the way he looked at it. And what he said, he just said it in a nicer way, but that's basically what he said. And I'm looking like that's trauma for not having your father in your life. That's trauma. That's bitterness for not having your father in your life. Now you doing the same thing. When they say generational curse, learn fucking behavior. You're accepting this because it was done to you, but that don't make it right. That's that belief shit. This is what make people fucking delusional, right? I got abused from my stepdad when I was young. He used to kick my ass because he did it to me. Don't make it okay for me to do it to my kid. I have to look, it was wrong. Just because it was done does not make it right. Just because something is done does not make it fucking right. What he did to me was not right. So to correct that and to recognize that, to heal from that, I first had to accept it. That was not okay. A lot of people had that Stockholm syndrome is when they start sympathizing with the abuser, and a form of that is accepting what was done to you was justified. And when you do that, you built this belief in your head, it's okay to do. Because you watched your daddy whoop on your mama ass, you think now you got a girl and you older, it's okay to whoop on her ass. That's not fucking true. This is the belief created through traumatic experiences that creates behavior later in our adulthood. People think that shit because they watch their mama get her ass kicked. They think it's okay to whoop woman's ass. Just because they seen their daddy dog their mama, they think it's okay for them to dog women. How these delusional beliefs or concepts become created is through trauma. The victim becomes the victimizer because it was done to them. They create this delusional belief that it's okay to do it to others. Maybe supermarket donors without the test, there's no developed testicular fortitude. There you go. I like that. Hold on, where's that at? Without, there you go. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Lady supermarket donors. Yeah, man. Like when he said, bro, when he said that, it was like that Scooby Doo sounded off. I'm like, huh? Like these motherfuckers just say that shit, and it's like, man, I want to hit this one. Like that's some of the most ignorant shit I was ever told. That's shit. I had my daddy. She'll be alright. She'll be alright because I ain't got my daddy. Creates this delusion, man. And instead of working on that trauma, healing from that trauma, you start passing out, and that's what happens, bro. That's what you have to. That's what's inside you. Only thing you can offer to people is what's inside you. And if you a big ball of trauma, then that's all you gonna really give other people. That's why people will still be mad as hell at people who dead. Like, how you gonna be mad at somebody dead? They gone, bro. You outlived them. You won. Nah, nah, nah. They ain't never apologized. Like, oh my god, let that shit go, bro. Motherfucker be mad as hell. 90 years old thinking about some shit happened in your 20s. Like, what the? I can't do it, bro. I ain't doing. I don't hold on to nothing like that, bro. Treat that shit like a fart. Let it go in the wind, bro. What's done is done. Learn from it and move on, bro. Learn so you can live. Live so you can laugh. And this is another thing too. I'm gonna just give y'all some quick hits. You know, the link is pinned. Is the link pinned? I don't know if the link pinned, but if it is pinned. Um, but check this out, man. This is just some salt, right? This is some salt. Um, Learn how to just accept the bad shit in the world. Accept it. Accept that bad shit happens, right? Accept it, right? As soon as you accept the bad shit, you can begin to enjoy the good things, right? You can enjoy the good things once you accept. When you don't accept the bad thing and they happen, you don't know how to take it, bro. That should be unbelievable. Oh my God, I never thought it happened to me. Why not? It's been happening to people throughout time. Whatever the fuck you go through, somebody else went through it before you. Trust me. There's really nothing new under the sun. Unless they create some new fucking disease or something and you go through it, then yeah, that's new. But whatever you're going through, relationships, family, work, all that shit has been done repeatedly. Many people have, it's bad shit to happen in the world. Unfortunately, babies get unalive, people get raped, you know what I'm saying? People get abused, people get, life is not fucking fair. The right people or the good people get harmed a lot. Innocent people die every day. You know, people driving, not drunk, they doing everything right. And then the drunk driver hit them and eliminate them. And now some little kid don't get their parents. That shit happens every day, bro. Bad shit happens, man. But if you constantly think about the shit, you're going to be depressed. You're going to be stressed. You ain't going to be able to enjoy the good shit. Because just like a lot of bad shit happen, a lot of good shit happen. Blessings overflow. But people can't enjoy it because they stressed about the bad stuff. That's delusional to think bad shit don't happen. That's fucking delusion. Shit been happening since we've been existing on the planet Earth, bro. Life is not fair. You know how you make the best out of it is to prepare for the unfairness. Just prepare for it. Build yourself up, man. And the shit you don't know, put yourself around the people who know. Look, you might can't fight a lick, but if you put yourself around people who can fight, you ain't got to worry about that. They handle that part, and you handle whatever you good at. That's how community. That's how you come in unity. Is bringing pieces of the puzzle. If you imagine if you open a puzzle box and it had all the same goddamn pieces. It ain't no puzzle. You have to have different pieces. Different pieces have different shapes, have a different portion of the picture. But when you put all that shit together, you got a Picasso. That's what we are, man. We all fucking different. Different colors, different shapes, different all that shit. Just puzzle analogy. We all puzzle fucking pieces, right? And some pieces don't match up with other pieces, but they match up with a piece. You might not match up. I'm gonna give you an example. I I'm gonna just use people in the chat, right? Well, I see Gary, I see Nightbot. Who else I see up there? I see Commander, right? So I'm gonna just use me, Gary, Nate, Commander, DD, and Nightbot. I ain't gonna use Nightbot. So I might not connect with Nate, right? But Nate connects with Didi, and I connect with Didi. So you know what's connecting me and Nate now? Didi. That's how it works, bro. That's how it works. And together we can make a picture. Even though me and Nate don't connect, the connection is deep. And guess what? Gary don't connect with Didi, but Gary connect with Nate. And since Gary not connected with Didi, he can't be connected to me because I'm on the other side of Didi. But because of Nate, Gary is now connected with me and Didi. And then I got Commander over here. Now Commander connected to me, but she not connected to Didi. But because she connected to me, now she's connected to Didi, Nate, and Gary. That's how the shit work, bro. That's how the shit work. Different pieces putting together a bigger picture. That's all we are. We small pieces that have to find a way to connect to one another, create the big picture. But one piece think is more important than the other piece because it's a corner piece and not a middle piece. But the middle piece think is better than the corner piece because it's in the middle. So the middle takes priority. Fuck the corner, but without the corner, you have no. That's the easiest way to start. Hard to start with a middle piece. Easy to start with a corner. So I mean that, like, yeah, I ain't gonna break that down. That's just. But yeah, so that's where we at though. You know, delusional expectation. Don't let nobody put expectations on you too. People accept that shit. You don't accept nobody's expectation. But a good way is to create boundaries, and don't be afraid to vocalize that shit. And if people don't accept your boundaries, don't fuck with them. Don't fuck with them. They probably belong to a different puzzle. You know how some pieces of the wrong puzzle get in the box. This piece don't even go with this puzzle. It's not even part of the picture. So no, I can't use this piece. That's how it is. You know what I'm saying? Fuck with the people who you can fuck with, bro. Don't force the piece in there because it's gonna fuck up the picture. Don't force the piece in there. It's gonna fuck up the picture. And that to me, that's the best way I can explain that. Yeah. But yeah, don't force it. And don't even connect. I sir, very true. But you feel me, Commander? Did that analogy make sense? I hope that analogy made sense. 'Cause I think I want to clip it. But yeah, yeah, it's I just feel like this, bro. Like and this another thing I want to associate going back to, my situation. At the beginning of the show I was talking about me experiencing this hydrocephalus and going through what I went through, right? Um going through what went through and like adapting and adjusting and just the way I live my life now. I understand. I have a more in depth understanding of because I used to feel like I didn't have limitations, right? I used to feel like that, like I can learn anything at any time, and I can, but going through that experience humbled me to the point where, like, I know now that it's not. I don't have to. Um, I don't always have to try to break my limitations. Or I know when to challenge limitations now. But I have to accept limitations. Like, so what I'm trying to say is this. Just know what the fuck you good at. Know what you can do. And if you want to do something more, practice that shit. Work on that shit. Just don't think you can do it. Just don't think because uh I see so many now that I experienced that I see so many people trying to do things beyond their own limitations. Be an example. Somebody came over here and said no names, you know. But they was basically telling me I should be doing this or I should be doing that, and I was telling them like that's not my thing. I know my limitations. I'm not going to try to do what other people do when I don't do that. That's not what I do, right? And even that, like somebody see you do one thing and they have this expectation that you can do something else without even knowing your capability. So the way I talk or the information I know what I'm good at. Self development, talking about self. I'm not a person to help. Uh, I know my field. I know my field of psychology, um, sociology. I know what fields I'm good at. But going outside that, that's not what I do. But I got other people around me who do those things. Uh oh. I don't know what you just said, homie. You supposed to be asleep. Why you come out here? You supposed to be asleep, little girl.
Planet.
Why you not asleep?
I know.
No, no. What? Don't touch my computer. Why you not asleep, little girl? Yeah, she about to get tripping. You should be open to consideration because others sometimes see you what you can't. No, I am open to that, and I'm always interested to hear other people. And it's been time like when somebody said, "Oh, you should be a life coach." I took that in consideration. I went and researched, and I became a life coach. So I am very open, but it's like when a person doesn't know you, and like I literally tell people, I'm not here for this, or I'm not here. I'm not coaching on here. That's not what I'm doing on here, right? Yeah, what is that? Didi go get mad. Put that sticker back on his book bag. No, not my computer. His book bag. Don't put that on my computer. Put it on his book bag. Put it back where you got it from. Thank you. You know, so like I'm not even coaching on here, right? Um, more. I'm talking. I'm bringing concepts, information. I'm more like teaching. Like coaching is totally different from what I'm doing on here. It's totally different. Sometimes I have like little post sections. I did that a couple times, but I ain't even do that too many times. Yeah, it stops with you. Like, so I'd be open to things, and I take things into consideration when I hear people say, "Is there something I know?" Like, I'm not even interested in that. And what that person was talking about, I'm like, I'm straight because I don't even believe in that. I don't believe everybody should be helped, and I'm not trying to help nobody who ain't being helped. So the whole concept of what they were saying, like, no, that ain't me. I'm the wrong person for that. I don't meet people where they at. No, you gotta come see me. Like that's just how I am. That's how I'm built. Like I know my limitations, right? And there's some things that I know my limitations. And like I said, even coaching, I went and learned and studied and got the little certificate. I actually there's a lot of coaches, they just call themselves coaches. I didn't do I'm not built like that. Like I need to know the ins and outs of what I want to do. So that's why I paid. I mean, I think I paid like 240 or something. It wasn't that much to take the little online course. I took the little online course. I made sure it was credit. It's not like an accredit, like a degree, but it was like in the field of coaching. It was like top 15, right? It wasn't the best one because that shit cost. I'm not paying $1,800 for no coaching certificates. Not doing it. But they had ones on. You could have paid like $10, $20 for. I'm like, man, you get what you pay for. So the one that I got from the little online school I went to, it was ranked in the top 15. I know it was, I don't know exactly what number it was, but I know it wasn't number 10 and it wasn't number 15. Yeah, you see that? Yeah. Okay. You like that? Yeah. I'll make that for you. I can put that on your phone, okay? I'll put that on your phone. Don't touch that. I'll put that picture on your phone for you. On the kitchen table. Go look on the kitchen table. I gotta charge it. But because you ain't look on the kitchen table. You in the living room. How you look on the kitchen table if you're in the living room? Talk about I don't see it. I know you don't because you're in the living room. I told you on the kitchen table. You see how my kids be trying to play? They just want me to get it. But yeah. So it was in the top 15. But I wanted to know the ins and outs because I didn't really know what it was. I watched a couple videos and I'm like, oh, that sounds good. Then I read some of the reviews for the school, and then I read the criteria, and I was like, yeah, I can do this. Like this would be dope. Just to add a certificate, right? And versus just saying, hey, I'm a life coach. Like I like to show little credentials, and then it attached me to like an association of life coaches, so I'm part of that group too. So that was kind of dope. And that way, Yeah, I gotta put it on the charger.
Yeah.
I'll put it on the charger. So I mean, that's just the way I can connect, network, and that's where I got my coach from. So it's just resources basically. So if you do something, do it the right way. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I gotta charge it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta charge it. I was talking about your other phone though. Don't push that. Yeah, you did that. You already messed that up. Don't mess that. Don't touch that no more. Because if that get any, I already gotta put some. Yeah. But what are you doing? You need to change your boo boo.
You keep pop there.
Why you bring a diaper in here if you don't need to change your boo boo? Did you boo boo? Is that not why you in the bed? Be funny. If she boo boo, she would not sit in the bed. I see it, baby. And she look, it's different ones too.
What?
Want to see a different one?
Yeah. For that?
Hold on, I'm about to show you.
Two.
What about
For that?
what about this one? You like this one?
For that and daddy?
Hold on, I'm gonna show you.
For that?
Yeah.
For me that?
Hold on.
For
You,
me
you
that,
like
daddy?
you like that one?
Yeah.
How about this one?
Yeah.
You just saying yeah. What is this one?
For me that?
Oh,
For me daddy?
you can't push that. Hold on. You can push this one. Push it. Push that. Just gotta push it one finger. Nope, you scrolling up. Just push it. Push it down. Oh, what you do? Hold on. You can close up.
I see her.
I'm telling you to do. Okay, you gotta do that. Okay. Okay, just chill up. All right.
For that?
Yeah, my daughter tripping. Yeah, she wanna push buttons on the computer. Like my turn, daddy. Like no, it ain't your turn.
Mm, mm,
What? Go get your bubba.
mm,
Go get your cup.
mm.
No, you can't put. This is why I can't do nothing on my computer when they woke. I'd never be able to get nothing done. Like no editing or nothing.
No.
Hmm. I was trying to get that off your face. What is that? You done snuck a cookie?
Yeah.
You not slick. I know you did. Yeah, that's what she about to do in the stream. That's exactly what she about to do. Man. 7 months. Appreciate you, my bro. Shout out to the nine, man. Shout out to King Blackout. Appreciate you, nine. Appreciate that, man. Shout out to all the members, man. I appreciate y'all, bro. I'm gonna get some content out. I'm about to start making videos. Like, um, yeah, I'm gonna start that next month. So I'm not gonna be going live as much. Probably the next 2 months. I always say that in going live. I try to find ways to create content out the content. I actually want to be more of an uploader than a live streamer. I want to be. That's more of a content creator. What I'm doing now, I mean, it creates content, but it's more of like a live stream. I want to be more of a content creator. Just, make the content, upload it. You know what I'm saying? I want to do more of that. Yeah, but yeah, that delusional shit. Uh, like I said, it is delusion is based off belief, man. And if you use belief as a process of to get to knowing is one thing. I just get so annoyed when I was having a conversation the other day, and I'm trying to explain like because this is what you have. You have definitions of things, right? But then you have meanings of things. Meaning and definition is two totally different concepts. The definition is the standard, or yeah, is the standard of what the word means, right? And this is where it gets confusing because in definition, if you look up definition, it'll tell you basically what I said, but it has the word meaning. And people associate meaning to definition, but meaning, if you look up the meaning of a word, it heavily depends on a person's perspective. The meaning of a word is individualized. So, like an example, love. You have a standard definition of what the term love means, but then when you ask somebody what is love, they give you their own personal perception of what the word means to them, right? So the meaning of a word and the definition of a word is two different things. So you get in conversations with people and they be like, well, what does belief mean to you? Or what is your understanding of belief? And I tell them, not by definition, but by meaning. Belief for me is a process of knowing. And they can't fucking comprehend that. And that shit is so annoying. It's a process. Just like a fucking hypothesis. What is a hypothesis? Something that you think. And then you test it. Then you see if it has any truth to it. That's how you determine if a hypothesis is true or false. Once you determine if it's true or false, it's no longer a fucking hypothesis. It is now known. That's what belief is. Something to be tested. It's something that you accept. You have to accept it to even want to test it. If people want to articulate it like that, because I done had people try to argue with me because I say I don't stop at believing in things. First, I used to say I don't believe in anything, and they'd be like, "Well, without belief, you can't get to knowing." And I'm like, you know what? You're fucking right. I have to find a better way to articulate myself. You're right. I can see. I have to concede to that because that's fact, right? Belief is a process of knowing. But when you get to that and I articulate it as a process, then they say, well, without anything you know is a belief. No, the fucking ain't. Anything I know is no longer a belief. That's how that works. Once you know it, you don't need to believe it. It's a fact. It can be proven. So therefore, it's not a belief. A belief is something you just accept as true. That doesn't make it true. That just means you accept it. And if you're presented with evidence, by definition, if you're presented with evidence that your belief is false and you don't accept the evidence, then you're fucking delusional. That's how that works. You're fucking delusional. That's how that works, man. And that's such a hard concept because people, when you challenge their beliefs, because what you're doing is challenging that part that is unknown. That's what you're doing. That doubt, that doubt the person has, that make them feel uncomfortable about what they believe is. When you challenge that, that's where you get the conflict from. That's where the conflict comes at because you're making them feel bad. You're not um you're not playing into their fucking delusion. It's not when you present something with fact. It's something like I people fought me tooth and nail, and then maybe a year or two later they was like, "Damn, bro, you was right." Yeah, it took you that long to let that shit go and actually look at what is presented in front of you. It's just certain things that yeah, and people start justifying their belief. And if you get in the echo chamber, then if you get around people who got to hold the same delusion, that shit can be dangerous. We've seen that throughout history. I ain't about to get into that. You've seen it throughout history. How if you get around a lot of people with the same delusional beliefs, that it can scar, it can fuck shit up. You know, we saying shit like that now. We saying shit like that now, bro. Where people got these delusional ass beliefs, and there's a bunch of them, and they hold power, and they can do whatever the fuck they want. You know, they hold form of power and shit. They think they justify because it's a group. Their group is bigger than the other group. That's how it works, right? Yeah. Who? Nah, bro. You supposed to be asleep, little girl. Yeah. Yeah, I just cleaned all this up and you just pulled all that stuff out, bro. Why you standing on that? You gonna break it, and I'm not buying another one. If you fall on your butt, little girl, no. All right. Yeah, she on 10. She on 10. She about to terrorize everything that I done. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I do got that. All right. But yeah, man. I'm uh I'm gonna go ahead and close out, but ain't nobody hit the panel, ain't nobody hit the link. That's cool, man. I was up here rapping, y'all listen to me rant for a minute. I appreciate that. But yeah, I just want y'all to peep that shit out, bro. But if y'all take anything from this story, take this, man. Uh Look at what people understand with like when you deal with people on any level, right? Relationship, friendship, family, really look at if the people is capable of whatever expectation you have for 'em. Because this is why people lose,
Need more
right?
milk.
Okay, I got you. How you need more milk in this thing for? It's hot. Okay, yeah. But just see if the person is capable of what you expect from them. And if they not, man, you can't be mad at us. I got friends that I know aren't dependable in certain areas, right? So I don't put them expectations on them. I don't put them in position too. Like I got a couple friends like bro, they can't hold water, bro. It's like that cup analogy. If the cup got a hole at the bottom, don't be mad when you fill it up and you fill out. Don't be mad at that, bro. That should be expected. Well, I know I got friends like, bro, they can't hold water. So guess what? I don't tell them shit. And then when they find out, like, bro, you ain't even tell me. I'm like, I know, because I ain't want nobody to know. That's why I ain't tell you. Now, I ain't want nobody to know none of that. Like when stuff finally come out or something, you know, I didn't know you was doing this. I ain't know, yeah, because I was in the process of getting it done. But now that it's done, I don't mind everybody knowing. You know how they say, huh? So take this and go lay down. Don't bring that up. Whoa, bro, what you get all this stuff in the kitchen for? Huh? No, no. Huh? Take a don't snatch from me. A little attitude, and then you smile. Go sit your butt down somewhere. She in little. I call my kids thing one and thing two. That's the perfect name for them. 'Cause they do the opposite of everything I told them to do. Yeah, but just make sure the expectation you put on people, and make sure you confirm that the person is even willing to fulfill or live up to that expectation. It's just simple communication, man. And I tell you, you'll be a lot more at peace, man. You'll be a lot more at peace. Like I said, I got friends for different reasons. I got some friends I chill with, kick it with. I got some friends I console. I can have deep conversations with them. And then I just got some friends. I mean, people call them associates, but these people I love, and um, they can depend on me. They can depend on me in ways that I can't depend on them. Right? That's just what it is. That's just what it is. And I don't feel no type of way, you know. If I can't lean on this person for this or this person for that, you know why I don't feel no type of way? Because I know they ain't capable of it. I know that. I know it. They ain't capable of that. So nah. I'm not gonna put that on them. They ain't built for that. Like even my ex-wife, man, I realized like even all the stuff she like the stuff that, she did, I don't get upset at what she did now because I understand she had limitations and I had bigger expectations for her that she didn't have the tools and I didn't give them to her. I didn't give them. And so, I mean, you can call that accountability or whatever you want. I just realized especially due to how she grew up. There's just some things that she wasn't capable of, some things she didn't know. So I can't get mad at her for being her. And that's what what Maya Angelou said. Let people to be who they are. Um, that's another uh, allegory, and that's what that means, man. It's just another way to translate that message. You know, don't expect things from people who aren't capable of the things that you expect. You just can't do it. That's fucking delusional. I like saying that. Y'all can't tell by that. That's fucking delusional. It is though. And it just is what it is. You can't expect an apple tree to grow orange. Right? Can't do it. You only can expect the apple tree to grow apples. You get mad at the apple tree because it ain't got oranges on it. Can't do it. Right? So don't get mad at the apple tree for not having oranges. Don't do it. Right? But y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what I always say, man. Care about how you feel. These are conversations to build nations. And if I said anything that resonated with you, do me a favor, hit that share button. Tell somebody to tell somebody. Help me spread the word. But until next time, we's are out. That's all I got, Pete.
Do it for the 9.
What up, Nine?
Acknowledge me!